Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? So, hello, everybody. I'm Nozomi, your Welsh Pandragon, here in Raven's Hollow, bringing you some lovely Welsh folklore and tales today. Bit of a chill stream today. Y'all stole my spoons. Oh, my spoons. Hello, Izzy. How are you, sweet pea? Hello, Bunny. I hope you both are doing very well today. You're playing the piano. Oh, I'd love to hear you play one day, Izzy. I do love piano music, after all. I'm a sucker for instrumentals. You'll have to play for me one time, Izzy. No, just little old me today. I didn't want to bother anyone particular today, and you're working, sir. But yes, after yesterday, Mr. Lion gets on the VIP squad with Mr. Inge as well. Yeah, just little old me today. I got my tea. And I was smart. I made a flask of tea as well, so that's on my desk. If I'm feeling confident, then I'd love to. Oh, honey, I'd absolutely love to hear you play one day. I do have to head out now for class. I'll try to pop in later. Of course, I hope you have a lovely time at class, Bunny. Study hard, you precious bean. What would you like me to say to you in Welsh, Lion? That is one of the new redeems. You get to pick what I say in Welsh, and I shall do my best to say it for you. Because a lot of you like to ask me different things, so you get to choose. Just your name. The black-maned lion. Okie dokie. Sort this out then. Pull my little Google up so I can read it out for you. Because I can never remember stuff off the top of my head. I can bloody spell. Okay, so in Welsh, black-maned lion is lliw-maned D. There you go. Yes, D is black. Maned is pretty much just pronounced how it would be, and lliw is lion. But it's said backwards, so it will be lliw-maned D. There you go, sweetie. Hello, Ori. How are you, honey? My little favorite jellyfish has come to see me. I need to get my piano looked at, though. One of the keys isn't working for some reason. Oh, no. Is maybe the string snapped or something? Mm-hmm. Yes. Colors are pretty... I know a few of the colours off the top of my head in Welsh. Possibly. Such a pretty voice. Oh, thank you, Ori. I'm glad you think so. Thank you. Look, your little jellyfish version is all high up there on the screen. Can I get it? Can I get that spelled out later? Of course you can. I can spell that for you. That's no problem. It's yeah, I'll be sure to DM it you after stream, don't worry. The beautiful Pandragon definitely has a pretty voice. Oh, thank you, Izzy. So not long left until Christmas, everybody. So it's the final countdown week to my Christmas stream, which will be super, super fun. I've been, I may have found the gold mine of countries when it comes to Christmas and their traditions. So I've been compiling a few of those for you today. I say a few. When I go on a research hole, it's quite the deep journey I go on. But yes, no guests today, Lion, and people are free to come and ask me if they want to join later. It's quite alright. As long as you're friends with me on Discord, you're all the more welcome to come join me and just ask me. I'm not going to say no. Validate me, of course, Izzy. You saved up your points today. Izzy, you are a special ray of sunshine. You are extremely kind, caring, funny, and really talented. You're very musically inclined as well. You play the piano, so that means I like you even more. Wait, Twitch is being weird, is it? Oh no. Alright, you can refresh and then I'll start again. Oh, my tea is nice today. Just let me know when you're ready, Izzy, and I will start again for you. Okay. So, Izzy, you are a positive ray of sunshine. You are a very kind, considerate, and funny person. You play the piano too, which means I like you even more because I love classical and instrumental music. You are so supportive of everybody. And I am honored to call you my friend. Every time you say hello to me, it makes my day. And you are an amazing human being. Please keep being the amazing person you are. And I love you very much, Izzy. Eep, I got bad internet. No, Ori, bad internet sucks. That's terrible. I'd cry if my internet was really bad, because I pretty much live on the internet lately. But yes. I think my emotes are back for you guys. I think I resorted those out, because I saw jellies today. I think I have a new animated gift that is being like approved at the minute. So there's my little new gif I have. So that should be available in my next stream. Ori loves the jellyfish. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I resorted it out, so it does work for my tier 1 subs, so I'm pretty happy with that. And I have an entire army of jellyfish for sub badges in my thing, so I'm very happy Z got me those for Christmas. But yes. I'm also super excited because I've commissioned intro for a new PNG, so I'm going to be super happy about that when that arrives. Much love to you, Nozomi. Oh, thank you. My phone decided that it didn't want to know what a cellular network was. Jelly supremacy. Paolo! I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing, darling? I hope you're well. Got it fixed right before stream. Well, you do have a new phone, so yes. Yes, Jelly. Yes, Paolo, how are you doing, sweetie? I hope you're doing good. Holiday stand down, so lots of day off. Oh, I'm glad you have time off now. You've been working so hard. Super hard. Are you ready for Christmas, Paolo? Or however you celebrate the day? By the way, I haven't said it till now. Your model is so damn cute. Oh, thank you very much, Ari. My little art daughter, Bunny Bay, made this for me. I commissioned her to make that, and I'm really proud. She worked very hard, and she even was happy to add my lovely jellyfish in there, like I asked, which is now named Ori because you asked, and I was like, yes, Ori can be my jellyfish name. Because I couldn't decide, and it's a very cute name, Ori. You have a lovely name, sweetie. Extremely cute. Makes us want to squeeze you. Oh! Oh, Paolo, if you are free on Christmas, you're free to be one of my guests here on my Christmas stream. Always where we may be enjoying some festivities and some drinks and playing fun games. If you want to come, or if you have no plans, you're fine to come. I want to be with you forever. Oh, Ori, you're precious. Honestly, like, yes. Of course you can, honey. I told you earlier, Ori, you're getting an upgrade in my newest PNG piece. We're gonna go through our badass arc, our villain arc. And I'll be using that PNG for my talk shows and stuff, and I have a throne, so I'm happy. Woohoo! Yes. Ori comes from Aurelia. It's a kind of jelly. Oh my god, it's fate then. It is fate that I called you, that I named my jellyfish after you. I'm very, very happy. Badass jelly. Yes, Ori. It took a while to plan my outfit. I'm very picky when it comes to like style, like how I want to style my model. Especially because I'm more self-conscious, to be honest. It's a moon jelly. I love moon jellies. I like all jellyfish though. It's very hard to like not have a favorite. I love them all. They just look so very pretty to look at, like, you know, even the smallest ones to the big giant ones. More outfits, more fangirling. Yes. Somebody on Twitter is gonna be making a bunny girl version of my model, which I think is very amusing. And I like it when people draw stuff for me and things like that, but yeah, it's slow progress. Bunny, yes. I do like bunnies. They're very cute. Bunnies are sort of in my like top 10 favorite animals, I'd say. Or you may lose her eyes. But I hope you guys are all ready for Christmas soon. More sexy outfits with a sexy dragon. Good thing it's not November then. That's true. That is true. But yes, Paolo's also commissioning a very nice piece of myself and him together, so that's very nice. Yeah. Oh, I just got that, Paolo. I feel so slow for just getting that. It was Ori's comment was just like, oh. I am slow on the upkeep today. Oh, Paolo's like a very sweet gremlin. You never know when he's gonna strike. Yes. Paolo missed Lion's takeover pretty much yesterday. He's the current conductor of the hype train. Yes, chat was very ruthless yesterday, Paolo. Innocent. Hello, Star. How are you, sweetheart? I hope you're well. I haven't seen you in so long. Hope you're doing well and ready for your festivities this winter. I do need to make a couple of audios to wish you all a very merry, a very Nadolig Llawen, which is Merry Christmas. And I'll do one for Happy Holidays as well, at some point. Hopefully before Christmas. I have been a busy dragon lately. Which is nice. I do like being busy though. Hello, hubby. You wanna validate? Of course you can, darling. Hubby, you are literally one of my most favorite chaotic gremlins. You are so funny. You're so kind. And I love when you hype me up and you make me laugh with your quotes. You are extremely caring and kind. And I just want to squish your cheeks because you are so adorable at the same time. I am so thankful to have you as a friend, hubby. And I hope we can share many more memories in future together. Love you, sweet pea. My heart, please. I can't take it. Oh, hubby. I'm glad you're doing well, Star. I hope all the others are doing okay. This me right now. Oh, you get the happy wiggles. Head pats, of course. Where did I put them? There we are. Thank you very much for the head pat, Sizzy. You're very sweet. Thank you. Rest in peace, my ears hurt. Headphones are too much for me right now. See you soon, love. Oh, take care, honey. Feel better. I hope I didn't cause your ears to hurt. Oh, sorry, honey. I can't use even half these redeems at work. No, you can't. I feel very evil now. I'm allowed to be a little evil after yesterday, Lion. Nah, dummy. It's on my ears too tight. Oh, have you not... Can you not loosen the head strap? Or are they all just one size? They are... One just got a Christmas gift early from the other. It's oh, that's so pretty. I need to see a picture. Get a picture for me to see, Star. I'd like to see all the shinies. You sound beautiful. Thank you, Ori. Oh, is it another day of compliments? Oh, I'm not ready for that. You guys are just so sweet. Oh, you're absolutely precious. I love it. I will, darling. Thank you. Wait, Nozumi, Ayo, a good pronoun redeem. Yes, a good yes, that's one of my new ones. I may have been convinced to add them in there. Not that I would try to stop you. You've decided to give me them anyway, but I mean, no, you gotta earn them. Good pronoun redeem, oh my. I always validate you guys anyway, so I thought it couldn't hurt. You seem to like me praising you. I'm considering also doing commissions for positive little voice audios for you guys, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still sitting on the fence of it. I know what I'm saving up for. Oh, Star, you're so sweet. It's just icing on the cake for you guys. You get praised a lot as it is. A good pronoun. What pronoun would you like, hubby? Let me know your pronoun, sweet pea. Praise make brain go brr. But yeah, just let me know what pronoun you'd like, hubby. I will try my best. I have to get into my like serious like space when I do like when I do my hours. I've got to do like that serious headspace and stop smiling my face off. You guys always make me smile, and I'm super happy for that. But yes, what pronoun would you like you redeem? He, him, Sheba, Izzy is my king. Well, I mean, you know that. You know, hashtag Izzy love, you know. But hubby, you are a very good boy. There you go. I'm learning. Bear with me. That was my first one. Hubby got the first one. I couldn't ever do like a negative redeem for someone because I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Even if it's like people are like, please tell me I'm bad. No, I can't. I can't do that to people because you're all precious. I hope that was okay, hubby. I'm still learning. Oh, I'll have to get a little crown for Izzy. Oh. I take it you liked it. Not bad, but I'll give you some pointers. Yes. I told you, I have to get into that serious, like, zone. But when I get complimented to the point where I'm smiling again and very high-pitched in my lilted voice, it's hard. You guys, I love it. I love you guys, you're so nice. I don't blame you. I would still feel bad. Yes. I would. For me, it's like that's not my my preference, to be honest. I'm like, no. I like to praise people, to validate them, to make them feel very special. I couldn't basically go, you know, tell them that they're a bad person or pronoun or whatever. I do love your voice, honey. Oh, stop. You guys are voice obsessed. Oh my goodness. It is still something I'm getting used to when you grow up around people who don't like the sound of your voice, because you know, school bullies and all that, ain't they fun? and when I hear myself on recordings, like I have this like weird like, you know, a form of body dysmorphia, because like my voice is the thing that is what I'm self-conscious about. So I do try to like, I can't seem to quite, my brain doesn't seem to quite understand. I'm like, what are they hearing that I don't hear? So it's good practice for my self-esteem, definitely a lot. Knows me best voice. I mean, yeah, I never know what you guys like hear, like why you like it so much. My brain doesn't like my voice. Others seem to like, yes, star, yes, you get it. Which I find is quite ironic because I do voice acting as well. So I'm like, okay, I want to be a voice actor, but my head's like, why are these so many people like your voice? Like I have crippling self-doubt about myself. It's a curse. But yes, I feel somewhat safe today because Mr. Lion is finally back at work. I am safe. Need to top up my tea. It's going cold. Please don't judge me. I have an Avatar The Last Airbender flask. I had it for Christmas the other year, but it keeps tea and like hot drinks very hot for like over 2 hours or so. So like I have extra and like tea. I was like, oh, I could be smart and like I can have more tea without leaving my chair. But yes, I do recommend getting yourself a thermal flask if you do stream, because it saves a trip to go make more tea. Tips with Nozomi, as one does. And now it's perfectly hot again. Ow. Too hot. I burnt my tongue. Ow. Ow, I burnt my tongue. Ow. Ow, I did a stupid. And I have some cold... Oh my, ow. I'm gonna get a chair for myself today. I've been using a small artist stool for over 3 years. Hubby, your back must be fucked. Oh, Jesus Christ, my tongue is hurting. Ow. I burned my tongue on my tea. I did a silly. I wasn't paying attention. Oh my god. Your back must be hurting like hell if you're living on a stool, dude. But yes, get yourself a really good chair. And get yourself a back support cushion, because you're gonna need it. Definitely gonna need it. 3 years? Hubby, you gotta spoil yourself sometimes. You do everything for everybody else. You gotta take care of yourself sometimes too, darling. I also found out apparently I've been an affiliate for like 3-ish months now. Well, 3-ish months now, because Bestie resubbed for 3 months. And I was like, what? Is it 3 months already? I'm too stingy on myself. I can relate to that very much, hubby. I can relate to that. But when I get gifted anything, you know, bits, subs, or even stuff off Throne, I'm like, why? But like, I've still got the same coat I've had for 10 years now, and my grandfather bought it me, and I was like, it's not ruined, and it's still got good use out of it. I refuse to, you know, buy another one. Because I don't justify the prices, you know, for comfort clothes. I'm like, no. I only, like, buy stuff when I really need it for myself. Ugh. I've become potato. I am up again. Oh, my tongue is still stinging. Ow. Yes. But definitely get yourself a nice chair. You know. You deserve it, hubby. You've done so much for other people. For my last birthday, Pocky asked what I wanted, and I told her a $5 back scratcher. Hubby has his priorities. Oh no, not this. No, don't you use my name, sir. Don't you use my name. Don't you use my name. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. I'm not being outed like this. No. No. I know I need to be more careful. I have the attention span of a goldfish. I'm very high. I know I need to be hot. I still have it. And when I got it... Oh! I honestly love when you get gifts that you cry and stuff. Like, because it means so much to you. I mean, I did for my birthday this year. I got a massive, like... commissioned paperweight with glass paperweight with a glass jellyfish inside. It was commissioned for me for my birthday, and the thing's heavy, but I was just, as soon as I saw it, I just got really emotional and I cried, and I was so happy. I mean, at least I'm safe, you know. I could hurt somebody with that now. but I really that was one of the gifts I've really enjoyed, to be honest. I like when people know me well enough to know what I like and stuff, and a lot of thought went into that gift, so I was like super happy. For the most part now, like, I never know what to ask for when people go, hey, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for your birthday? And it's always, I don't know, or because I don't need anything, I don't want anything. And people are like, you gotta have something. And I'm like, I don't know what for. I had a fantastic childhood, but no monies, so I don't like spending anything on myself. Yeah, yep, hubby, relatable. Like, you know, for me, like, I had a roof over my head, and like, you know, what food we could have. Like, my family, like my mum struggled to pay bills as like a single parent and stuff, so, you know, for me, I'd rather her be able to keep us fed when, well, I say fed, more like just keep a roof over my head and give me clothes, because, you know, and we got like a little bit of support like off my grandparents who lived around the corner, but I still didn't ask for anything. You know, I remember, so this was many, many years ago, back when Game Boy Color was a thing for all my millennials and such. My sister really, really wanted a Game Boy Color. Now, mind you, this was back when it was in its hype, it was popular, and it was expensive. So, you know, she told my mum for Christmas she really, really wanted this Game Boy Color. Now, I'd seen how much it is as well, and I was like, well, if she bought two, that would be too expensive. So my mum was like, well, do you want one? I was like, no, that's okay. And I explained to her the process. I said, it's expensive. I said, you know, my sister seems to really want one. You know, I'll be happy with just some pajamas or something, you know, it's not something I need, you know. They are still expensive, yeah. So I remember, I wasn't expecting this, but apparently my mum had mentioned it to my nan, and my nan had asked my mum if, she was like, well, what about Nozomi? You know, are you not getting her the same thing? And she was like, I can only afford one. And my grandmother's principle was, if you can only afford one, do not get any at all, to treat each of the girls equally. Like, that's how my grandparents were. They wanted to treat each of myself and my sister the same, so nobody was excluded. But I was fine with that. Yeah, I was a little disappointed that I probably wouldn't get one, because, you know, I'd like to spend time playing that, you know, and me and my sister just having fun. But I understood as well, like, even at a young age, like, my mum couldn't afford all this, like, stuff that all the other boys and girls were getting. So, that Christmas, we opened our gifts at my mum's house first, because then later we'd go round the corner to my grandparents, open presents, and have food there. So, yeah, I still was a little hurt when I did see my sister get one at my mum's house. And I was, you know, I got the pajamas that I asked for, and I was fine with that. My sister did the whole rubbing it in my face thing, as sisters do, you know. And, you know, my mum didn't say anything to her. She just, you know, was happy. My sister was happy. So we went round to my grandparents, and it was time to open presents. And obviously there was an extra one for me, and they'd gotten me a Game Boy Color and a game. The reaction was not what you'd expect, to be honest. So my sister obviously wasn't happy, because she was the only one who was supposed to have it. She was like, you know, it's not fair. She gets the same as me, you know, typical kid stuff. My mum yelled at my grandma saying, you know, why did you buy her that? You know, I told you I couldn't afford to buy two. And my grandma just shut her up and was like, yeah, but you got one. But you've left her, you know, Nozomi out. She doesn't have it, so, you know, she's going to be sad watching her sister play that, and her sister's not going to share that, so she has one of her own. Like, and my grandma, like, tried to instill good morals and stuff like that, but things happen. I don't have the Game Boy Color anymore, but it's one of those, I only do it unless I need it, you know. Like, if I need something and it's like, oh yeah, what do you want? No idea. So, like, and I was convinced by the community to, hey, make a throne, put stuff on there, because I'm not used to having stuff. And it's like, no, people want to support you and stuff. And I still freak out. I'm like, you could spend the money on bills and food and stuff for yourself. And they're like, no, you have this. But, you know, it was like, it was my reaction yesterday when Lion gifted me a drawing tablet. Didn't contribute, just gifted the entire thing. I was like, sir, what? It's a lot of money. Oh, you guys are too nice, honestly. But you best get yourself a good chair, hubby. You can have a bad back like me. Good God. No. We can't cope with that. Yes. I don't think I can make you freak out any more than yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, like, at this point, anything freaks me out. So, like, there are probably things on there that could freak people out. Like, I freak out at everything now. Anytime you guys do stuff for me or support me, I'm a mess. It's just how it is now. It's one way to fluster and shock Nozomi, just as Izzy says, get loved on. That's just how it goes. But yes. So, I'm thinking of, like, making the background and stuff more festive for Christmas. I'm not too sure, though. We'll have to see. Because I'm gonna have, like, another little slidey show, but I'll move that around. I just don't know how to make my screen look nice. I try my best. And that's... I get the participation, like, sticker. You're doing your best, Nozomi. You're doing your best. I mean, for the most part, that's all I got in school was just the participation thing at, like, sports day. I won one year, though. Won the egg and spoon race. 1 year. Back when I was, like, 8. But I still won it. And I still got a nice golden sticker. And I was proud of myself. I get you. It makes sense. Anytime I get a gift, which is almost never, I cry. It doesn't matter what it is because I'm not used to it, truthfully. I don't even want gifts at all. I cry because... Yes! Oh my god! Hubby understands my soul. Hubby understands me. I am appreciative of that. Yes, somebody gets the mindset. It looks nice as it is. Does it? Does it? I mean, I see everybody else's streams and they look super fancy and nice. And then there's me. The basic bitch. Yeah. I looked hard for this nice little wallpaper, but I want to try and, like, design some nice overlays to fit Nozomi better at some point. I wouldn't know, like, my color palette or what to do with it. The way you said it, boo, it's a wonderful sound. Oh, no, you think so? Honestly, this is like Google at its finest. I've literally been, like, on Google finding these. Just doing my best, honestly. Also, I'm just doing this as super lucky fairy. Oh, somebody actually noticed where I put my fairy today. I could add as many fairies as I wanted in there, and I was like, I just moved her off my horn because I made myself look a bit bigger today because it's just me. Of course, it's so festive and it's a positive vibe. Well, thank you. Most people enjoy the actual jellyfish gif I have going, the little bouncy one. Apparently that's a lot of neurodivergent people get very hypnotized by that. But yes. It's also, like, I try to drop clues about, like, my lore and stuff in my scenes and stuff. Which, you know, I'm still working on perfecting her lore so I can drop the like Google Doc of it, because if I'm gonna make lore, it's gonna be detailed, it's gonna be fucking amazing. Because I'd feel insulted if I didn't do that. Yes. I don't know, I'm always, like, super critical of, like, my stuff, and I'm just like, Does it look okay? I at least wanted to make it festive. Like, you know, my favorite bit, I do like the snow and stuff like that. But I want to try and like, I want like to have like an overlay for like a very enchanted like forest. But like, you know, I'll probably like with my new drawing tablet, I'll probably design a couple myself. Because I'm good at like drawing other stuff that isn't people. And abstract stuff. I'm good at that. I got good marks in school for my abstract art. It is absolutely festive. I mean, I could whack some reindeer antlers on my head, but I can't be bothered. And I've got my own horns. I have to find the most tiniest bits of tinsel to wrap around them. It feels almost alive with all the creatures around. Of course, of course. These are also magical jellyfish. They don't have to live in the water to be alive, because it's... Raven's Hollow is something Nozomi created herself. I will tell you that at least. You know, it's her safe space. She made it. The Raven here, he is your guide as well. He was also Nozomi's guide. Hello, Akira, my darling. How are you? I hope you're well. Thank you for making the little nom emotes for me that I made into a GIF. I love it. Very little talented. Oh, I'm glad you're doing okay, honey. So the Raven here, Ebony, he isn't just, you know, a raven. He is the guide for essentially Raven's Hollow. Hence why he is named. The hollow is named after him. You are talented. You don't get to bash yourself in this stream. Only I get to bash myself. That's the law. You guys get loved on. I'm the one who you know, who takes the hits. But Ebony, so he became sort of like Nozomi's protector when she needed it. And he is a very, very, very old raven. He is extremely old because he is magical. Nozomi, no, fight me, sir. Fight me. You are to be loved on here. Never. But Ebony, he's a very wise, very old raven. He can be a bit cranky too. But he is essentially the keeper and guardian of Raven's Hollow, and you know, Nozomi's confidant. He is pretty much raised her from when she was a child, you know, due to her circumstances. You know, magic can do many a thing, and I live for it. But yes, but Raven's Hollow came to be, and obviously, you know, Ebony is I'd say one of my guardians. You two beloved will fight me. No, you won't. You can't get me, I'm safe. You're in work. I feel accomplished. I'm safe. But yes, it's magical. Also, you'll see little shadow dragon here. That is one of Nozomi's abilities. I will tell you that. So, and then fairies, because obviously fairies are important. And then we just have the mascot, Tiny Nozomi, the keeper of the biddy jar. She is the stream guardian. I need to find a tiny top hat for her though. I want to put like tiny hats on her. There's somebody on TikTok I found who puts little tiny hats on sea urchins, and I'm just like, nah, I'm here for that. But I want to see how many tiny hats I can get throughout the year and like put them on Tiny Nozomi. You can't get me because there's a puddle. Yes. So, to try and divert you crazy people, we have some little tales. I can't tell if you missed the subtext there. No, I know it. I told you. Fight me. I'm gremlin today. I didn't miss it. Called I'm challenging it. Gremlin mode today. Y'all were gremlins to me yesterday. I get to be a gremlin today. As I do. But yes, I don't think I updated my schedule as well this week, so give you an oversight. I'm streaming today. I'm off Tuesday. Streaming Wednesday. Off Thursday. Streaming Friday. Off Christmas Eve, because obviously I got family coming over and last minute bits and bobs to do. Ready for Christmas on Sunday. Which will include a busy day of gifts and food, and then in the evening, my stream with you guys. To double check if you actually got it when I'm out. I got it, sir! I'm not that dim. I got it. I am a smart dragon. Very smart. Yes. Yes. So, where we left off yesterday, because Chozo, made sure I went to bed. And I left off at fairy riches and gifts. I'm a dumb Sheba. Shebas are absolutely precious, hubby, and you're not dumb. You're my precious, squishable, fluffy dooch. You are the cutest Shiba Inu ever, hubby. And you're smart. You're smart because Shiba Inus can run shops. You seem if you did get it. Shh! Mr. Lion. I am precious. Oh, hubby, don't cry, sweetie. You're like Izzy. I complimented Izzy and he cried the other day and I felt so bad. I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I was like, I like making people feel better and cheering them up, but like, I was like, oh, Izzy cried. Oh my god. Oh, I feel bad. You guys need to hear more positivity enough. I feel so bad. I'm like, oh, did some people not love you enough? I'm sorry. Gotta make y'all feel loved. Make up for all the times you didn't feel loved on by your parents or friends and other people. Because, you guys are all amazing and you guys deserve all the love because you are such an amazing community and you're so supportive. Like, so supportive. Like, and for me, I don't know how many times I can, like, praise you or just say thank you because you guys have, since I started VTubing, even though I've been on Discord for, like, a long time, since I started VTubing in October, and even just before that, so just about September-ish, because I met pretty much all of you guys after my birthday in August, so I met you guys, around the start of September, and then I debuted in October. You guys have all been so kind and so supportive. To someone who thinks very little of themselves, like I do, it's not something I hide behind. I know I have a lot of work to do on my self-confidence, but I'm honestly, I've told people I can never put into, like, words, like, there are many words to say, but I don't know, like, how to properly ever convey the gratitude and the thoughts and the feelings I have in my entire being for you guys just, being here, like, supporting me, even just talking to me, each and every day. Like, I live in my head quite a lot, you know. Nozomi is a broken dragon, you know. I have mental illnesses like everybody else does, and stuff like that, and I have my own bad issues that I don't dare bring to people, because I don't want to upset them. But you guys have really been such a nice, like, I have a nice support system at home as well, and you know, my support system pushed me as well to pursue my dream, and obviously streaming and things like that, and working on my voice acting. But you guys are something else. Like, you don't know that much about me as a person or a creator and stuff. You just are all here, and it's one of those. I've had friendships that have lasted a very, very long time who just left me for no reason. So I do have trust issues, but you know, so bear with me on that. And I cling to friendships quite hard because, you know, abandonment issues. There we go. But even with you guys not knowing a whole lot about me behind the model or anything like that, you guys are just so amazing and supportive. Like, it really does make my day. And I'm going to be thanking you and validating you and giving you so much praise for many, many, many years. I want to be like the cool 8-year-old grandma who still does this. You may praise to your heart's desire. That is entirely your prerogative. Yeah, it's one of those. I'm happy to compliment people, make their day, when it's a very different experience when you're on the receiving end. But I do want to be just really real with you guys. Like, this past 6 months pretty much has, you know, brought me a lot more joy than I've experienced in at least a year. You know, I have my person and my support system at home, but when it comes to like friendships, I don't particularly have many outside of Discord and my community, and it means a lot that you guys, you know, come to see just little old me, because, you know, my brain is my own worst enemy. And I've been having some low spoon days the past couple of days. And it happens. It's a rare thing that does happen, even though I'm very good at keeping myself in check. I am my own therapist. But some days, even when I'm feeling my lowest, you guys are always there, and you always put a smile on my face. Like, so, and I'm really happy you guys like learning about my heritage and folklore tales and just stories and things like that, while I'm still in the phase of getting my new computer, which will be next year, about February, March time. Which then means, you know, I can actually play a lot more games with people, because, you know, I'll have a computer that hopefully will let me do both game and stream. But I'm just, you guys are fucking the best, and I do, like, love you guys for it so much. I will never get used to being loved on, but still. Yes. Before I get, you know, in on my own brain and cry happy tears, I will be reading you guys some tales. You gotta stop me sometimes when I'm on a tangent, guys. My brain doesn't like it. Still getting used to it. But yes. So, fairy riches and gifts. I hope you guys are all sitting very comfortably and have your own drinks and snacks. Except Lion. Lion's working. Working in a hot kitchen. I really want tiramisu now, god damn it. But I love the tangents and all that stuff. You really? Oh my god, really? That's another thing I get reminded about. Because my my ADD brain, there we go. My ADD brain is like, I'm like, I remind myself of a squirrel that's had a lot of like energy drinks are just bouncing around in my brain. Yeah. Thank you, hubby. Oh, Lion did end up missing out on a gift subs. He was asking yesterday. I was like, who did I miss out yesterday? I mean, I've had an increase of followers now. I think I'm at like 212 followers. I checked today, and I was like, where'd y'all come from? Oh my god, 200 people follow me. Well, Viper followed me yesterday, so I'm still not recovering well from that. On the same, Viper's on the same platform that I hold Shadow to. He's one of my idols. Same with Mr. Ruin, and Toro Karu. And when one of those people does follow me, it's the same with Intro. Intro doesn't like getting loved on, you know, like me, but I idolize Intro very much. What? I hate when you do that. I feel like I'm getting in trouble. But Nozomi, no. Oh god, that's just a feeling. That's a weird feeling. And somebody just goes Nozomi. Just nothing else after it. I'm like, oh shit, am I in trouble? What the fuck did I do? Oh, you're broken. Let us be the tape. God damn it. My idols would be all my friends. Hubby, you're so sweet. That is a lot of tape, Lion. All of you. Hubby, you're precious. You're absolutely precious. Did you get Pocky something nice for Christmas, hubby? Even be the glue. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sentimental 1 minute, gremlin the next. Jesus Christ, Lion. Y'all gremlins. Get your heads in the gutter. Gave her another year of marriage. Oh, fucking jeez. You guys are so cute. Oh, I didn't know you were married though. I thought you were together, just like partners. Oh my god, I miss out on so much. Sentimental gremlin. You're a sentimental gremlin. Y'all the sentimental gremlins. Yeah, I just thought you were like partners, not married. I don't get told shit. Y'all guys don't tell me shit. You gotta fucking tell me stuff, man. Oh. How long you two been married then? So fucking precious, and I didn't even get an invite. I'll let you in on the team next time, promise. Yes, we're 4 years? Oh, that's so sweet. How long were you together before you guys got married? Sorry, I'm invested in cute romance. I like romance. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I can just imagine Pocky in her wedding dress. Oh, that's so cute. 3 years, damn. Slid right in there, sir. You're smooth. For me. Hello, Saru. How are you, darling? Welcome into Raven's Hollow. I hope you're doing well, sweetie. So next year in May 2023, I will have been with my person for 10 years. Not married, but, you know, 10 years being together. Doing well. Thought I'd come and say hi. Well, hello, sweetie. I'm so glad you're doing very well today. Always good. Especially for a Monday. You're doing good on a Monday. That's good. I gotta start I need to get gold stars for next stream. I need to just start giving you guys gold stars. Because you're precious. You're precious good noodles. Alright. So, fairy riches and gifts. Don't worry, Nessa. I'll invite you to my wedding when it happens. Oh, yes. If I can't come in person, I want a Zoom invite. I want to be like, I want like an iPad screen on a chair. And I want to see it. If I can't travel to you guys, virtually invite me to your wedding and put just an iPad or a laptop on a chair and I will watch your wedding. I'll even dress up fancy for the video call because I'm nice like that. Ooh. Yes. I'll be the virtual flower girl at your wedding. The virtual flower dragon. Oh, if I could buy... No, God, jeez, I can't travel. God, no. I have commitments. I think the only time I'd like travel is if... When I get to a point where I'm a very, like, big, like, creator... And I get, like, invited to Twitch cons or stuff like that. Like, I think that's the only time I'd consider traveling. But no, like, for weddings and stuff, like, you can bring me on as a Zoom invite, and I will happily sit there and, you know, I'll woo your overseas friends with my Welsh voice. There you go. I'll do the best dragon speech. Yes. I love it. I love that. Can't believe I missed hubby's wedding. I didn't even know hubby then. God damn. You guys are too nice. So many good beans. Y'all stuck with me now till I die. There you go. I'm still here for a while. I know, hubby. I'm comedic. I'm so funny. Oh, I did it again. You can breathe. Y'all stole my spoons. I want my spoons back. All my spoons. So, the riches of the fairies are often mentioned by the old people, and the source of their wealth is variously given. An old man who has already been mentioned, John Williams, born in 1770, was of opinion that the fairies stole the money from bad rich people to give it to good poor folk. This they were enabled to do, he stated, as they could make themselves invisible. In a conversation which we once had on this subject, my old friend posed me with this question: who do you think robbed of his money without his knowledge? Who do you think took money only 20 years ago? Why, the fairies, added he, but no one ever found out the thief. From Shakespeare in Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 3, Scene 1, gives a very different source to the fairy riches. I will give these fairies to attend on thee, and they shall fetch the jewels from the deep. Without inquiring too curiously into the source of these riches, it shall now be shown how, and for what services, they were bestowed on mortals. Gratitude is a noble trait in the fairy character, and favours received they ever repaid. But the following stories illustrate alike their commiseration, their caprice, and their grateful bounty. The fairies placing money on the ground for a poor man. The following tale was told to me by Thomas Jones, a small mountain farmer, who occupies land near Pontpertrial, a place between Ruthin and Llanfihangel, Llyn Mifir. Ai, Sumai, my friend, Sumai, sweet pea. Croeso I Ravens Hollow. How are you doing, sweetie? How you doing, Chosen, my favourite little bean? Hope you're doing well. I love how you come into my streams with a little bit of Welsh. Thank you. That's really nice. I really appreciate that. Oh, informed me that he was acquainted with all the parties mentioned in the tale, and his story is as follows. A shoemaker, whose health would not permit him to pursue his own trade, obtained work in a tanyard at Penabont, near Corwin. The shoemaker lived in a house called Tinnagraig, belonging to Lagia Isa Farm. He walked daily to his employment, a distance of several miles, because he could not afford to pay for lodgings. He threw me for a loop with that greeting. Yeah, I'm doing well. Of course, Croeso is welcome in Welsh, and you've greeted me in Welsh, Sweet Pea, so you will receive one again. I do appreciate you bringing a bit of Welsh into your greetings. Thank you. One day, he noticed a round bit of green ground close to one of the gates on Tannacoid Farm, and going up to it he discovered a piece of silver lying on the sward. Day after day, from that same spot, he picked up a silver coin. By this means, as well as by the wage he received, he became a well-to-do man. His wife noticed the many new coins he brought home and questioned him about them, but he kept the secret of their origin to himself. At last, however, in consequence of repeated injuries, he told her all about the silver pieces, which daily he had picked up from the green plot. The next day he passed the place. There was no silver, as in days gone by, and he never discovered another shilling, although he looked for it every day. The poor man did not live long after he had informed his wife whence he had obtained the bright silver coins. You don't, you'd never tell somebody if a fairy has gifted you stuff, or if you've, because it's like the saying, see a penny, pick it up, all day long you'll have good luck. Like, you know, many years ago, obviously the fae would leave trinkets, treasures, coins and wealth to those who did good deeds and needed it. And it was their own little way of gratitude. But if you say it, you'll hold your... Oh, honestly, there are so many great places that you could hold your wedding in Wales. It's a very beautiful country, honey. I recommend, if you are up in Wales at some point, go and visit Erddig Hall. Erddig Hall and its gardens are very, very pretty to go and look at. But definitely, there are many good places. If you know, I mean, it might be a bit expensive to hold a wedding, you know, and get people from America to Wales for your wedding, but it's doable. I've known British folk. One of my old friends, she went and got married in like New York, I believe, and then they had their honeymoon in Vegas, which I thought was really cool. I was looking at Welsh, the language, on Wikipedia and found out that there's a Welsh colony in Argentina. Most likely, Choso, there most likely is. We get around. We do. We can get around if we like, but we do have a very nice country as well. But yeah, you might find a bit of Welsh people here and there, to be honest. Oh my goodness. Apparently everyone has a stake in Argentina. Well, yeah, I do like learning about new countries, though. I'd like to, you know, travel, but expenses. So I'll just like virtually travel. I'll just look at pictures. I'll keep the guest list small. Well, yeah, I'm sure your mum would absolutely love to visit because it's very pretty. Though I am Venezuela and we had a German colony, so it's like a Latin American thing. Yeah, that's true. Venezuela. That sounds so nice to say. Why? That just sounds very nice to say. Oh my god. Yeah, I'd like to travel, but like it's expensive. So for me, it's just like virtual traveling. You know. One year I did get to see outside of one of my American friends' homes, and I was like, where is the grass? There was like no grass. It was just all dusty, and the gaps between your houses, like you don't have like houses like joined together like semi-detached houses and terraced houses. It was just like one house, then there was like this massive gap, like another house, and I was like, what? Visiting places is awesome, but very much not a thing that everyone can do. I can't do it regularly. Yeah, no, I get that, Chose. I think the last abroad holiday I took, I was 17 and I went to Portugal. And the years before that, I got to travel, around, some of Spain. There's grass. We like grass. Gotta touch grass, as they say. But yeah, we had, like, I've been around some of Spain. I haven't visited Madrid, or Barcelona. I did want to go see the cathedral in Barcelona. I was envious of my mum when she got to go. You even have a garden. Do you have flowers? That is important. I like flowers. There are some beautiful places here in Spain, but living in Tenerife in the Canary Islands kind of cuts us off. I've been to Tenerife like when I was like a kid. That was one of our destinations that we did go on holiday. My sister recently went to Tenerife like about a year or two ago. Mum also keeps yes, flower garden. Yes. I like that. The only flowers I have in my own garden are way down the bottom of the garden, and they've been here since before we moved in. It's daffodils. And they keep regrowing every year. I don't have to touch them. I like them though. Oh, little wave. A cute little wave. If I lived in the mainland, I could do like a road trip or even better. Yeah, Tenerife's pretty just like out the way. I'd like to visit Italy at some point as well. I just like sightseeing. One of my favourite things to do in Spain though was me and my grandmother used to walk down all the side streets and everything to find the candle making shops. That was like a to-do list for us. We would always like go in search of like the candle making shop that had the nice people carving the candles in the window for everybody to see. And it became like a running joke, like, my granddad would go off for his paper and stuff, and then when my grandma was like, come on, we're gonna go for a walk, and they'd be like, oh, you're gonna go find your candles now, and my grandmother would be like, yes, we are, and you're not invited. They learned not to make fun of it again, because they secretly like coming with us, but one year my grandmother just took me. When the snow melts, I'll have to do a video call with you to show you some of the parts. Oh my god, I'd love that. I honestly love I love seeing it other people's countries. It's super nice. Someone who learned Latin visiting Rome, especially all the antique sites from 2,000 years ago. Oh my god, yes. I'd love to visit Rome. Rome sounds very nice. Rome is, I just like looking at very pretty things, and I'm just like, yes. One day soon. I get excited when I can just go visit the seaside, because I live about like 2 hours or so away from like the sea. So for me, it's like, when I go and, as we say, see the sea, when you go to visit the seaside, I just like to look at it. It looks very pretty, because, I like sea creatures and I like jellyfish. I've corrected my posture. I am potato. But not anymore. Imagine that. I can see a carving and I'm like, ha, I can read it. And it says the Emperor is Claudius. Now applaud me. Yes! That sounds amazing. I want to buy a truck camper and put it on my pickup to go travel the USA. Oh my god, that sounds so cool. Like, but for, like, I've heard America's, like, very big, like, compared to, like, driving distance if you want to go to, like, the next state over. So for me, the next, like, town over. So for me to actually just get into England, it's like a 20-minute drive. But, like, for you guys, it takes, like, hours to get to, like, the next, like, state over. She sells seashells by the seashore. Yes, he does. I like to go shell looking. Look for sea treasures and rock pools. They're pretty. Next state over is like 5 hours. 5 hours! Jesus! Why is it so big? From what I heard, if you visit the US of A, you gotta pick like one place or area. What would you like me to say in Welsh, Lion? What would you like me to say? I'll be in Europe 5 hours is driving for like 4 countries. Jesus. Yes, what would you like me to say this time, Lion, in Welsh? Let's see. The line I just said. Oh, she sells seashells by the seashore. Okay. No, Mr. Dooge. Oh my god, that is a mouthful. Okay, so she sells seashells by the seashore. In Welsh is Mae hi'n gwerthu, cregan môr, a lan y môr. There you go. More if you line it up properly. Yeah, I've heard people like driving for like hours on end just to get somewhere. Oh, that sucks though, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I've got family like so and so state over, and I'm like, oh, that can't be a bad trip. And then they tell me it's like an 8-hour drive, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go back. I'll be back in at 10. Want anything? Yep. I think the longest journey I took in England was when I visited someone down in Luton, and then I got to visit London when I was 17. That was like a 4-hour train ride for me from up in Wales all the way down to where, like, by London. So yeah, that was that was by train. It was about 4 hours. And then I think from where I was to go visit my sister, she lives in England and in like Birmingham. That was about 3-ish hours. I had to take 2 trains. So not too bad. You're still looking at like longish journeys. Get like 6 states in a couple of hours if you do it right. Like European state, US ones, yeah. I'm just surprised. Like, I was still shook that I saw an old man on TikTok smack a like crocodile or alligator with a frying pan. I was like, what? The guy just had no chill. New England down to Pennsylvania. New England. Because y'all can't have your own. You've got there's a South Wales. There's a New South Wales up in New Zealand as well, and I find it so lovely. Like, yes. It'd probably be easier if you did it on the northeast where the states are smaller and bunched up. Listen, the Florida people are just one of my favorite like pastimes, hubby, is I will go to Google and I will just type in Florida man headlines on Google Images and I will just look. through them, and it brings me joy. And questions, like a lot of stuff. I have many questions. Like, what one guy apparently threw an alligator through a drive-through window. I was like, what? Hey, you picked one up. Why? New England is that set of small bunched up states. I honestly just, they're all, I say this like in the nicest way possible. I can't differentiate through most of the states. I can like pick like little things. So like Texas, cowboy hats. Wisconsin, cheese. Florida, stupid people. No offense if you do live in Florida, but like the Florida man stories do speak for themselves and give you a bad name. What other place? Now you can tell how bad my geography is. I don't know many states. Mississippi. I like that name. That name is very fun to say. New South Wales is actually... Oh, the Australia. Hey, I get my geography. Choso, we've been over this. No friends Australia. I saw different parts of Australia. I saw it. Florida equals crackhead capital. Thing is, I've watched Hitalia as well, so like, even then, like that didn't help with my geography either. Hey, are you from Mississippi? Cause you're the only Mississippi. You did it wrong, Choso. It's Tennessee. Are you from Tennessee? Cause you're the only 10 I see. Better than Cali. Oh, California. And I know San Francisco has all those like hills with like the trams going on, only because I watched Princess Diaries. That was such a good film. And they're bringing out a third one. That was from a TikTok, don't blame me. Oh my god. That person just poorly executed it then. Oh my goodness. San Francisco also has Metallica, true. Yeah, but Wales has Bullet for My Valentine, so, you know. I'm from LA, California. I feel shame. What was the state that Grey's Anatomy was set in? I can't remember, but I enjoyed that one. And there was a lot of rain in that one. It rained all the time and had many big skyscrapers, but most of your places have big skyscrapers. I feel shame in my state. Is New York the place that has the Statue of Liberty, or where's that place? Tell my geography is bad, right? Never listened to Bullet for My Valentine, unfortunately. I'm barely catching up to the famous. Honestly, I highly suggest listening to Bullet for My Valentine and Lost Prophets. They are both Welsh bands and they are very good. Highly, highly recommend. Yeah, I'm terrible with my geography. It's New York City. Okay, I got it right. Yay. Hello, Jack. How are you, darling? I hope you're doing well. We're on a tangent about America at the minute and like countries. My first time listening to Welcome to the Black Parade was like a month ago, for instance. Choso, you are so behind on your goth and emo phase, my dear. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the sub, Lion. Oh, yeah. Lion would be spoiling people. And Lion dropped all the goodies yesterday. Like a very precious bean. Oh yes, Choso needs to be educated on music. Hello, Circus. How are you, darling? Hope you're doing well. Yes. Circus is very hyped for Christmas. Choso getting called out. So behind your goth. He is. I'm sorry. I've done it. I've done my phase. I've you know, y'all are gonna hate me. I had a fedora phase. You're gonna actually hate me. I had a very big hat phase. Back when I was like 1920, and that included a fedora, and it had like this really cool metal spider brooch on it. Complete with, you know, badly dyed, like, blondish underside of my hair. But my hair went through many shades of hair dye. I've gone like turquoise, I've been red, I've been purple, I did pink, I did full on black. My hair has gone many, many colours. And Christmas Eve, my mother is bringing me down my jade green hair dye, so I'm happy for that. I saw I hadn't had a chance to thank him yet. Jack, you're precious. I'm not a goth. The closest is making my son is wear a suit. Hey, suits are nice. Suits are good. Very good. Here to show the Pendragon love its tradition. It is. Circus has kept some booze aside for Christmas as well. So that's so they look snazzy. Snazzy suits. I like a good suit, Chozo. My hat face is fine, but calling only a fedora face is... Oh. Like, I also used to own, like, little mini top hats on headbands. I had many outfit choices. No, I saw a really nice, like black and lace little mini top hat on a headband which had like a spider on it, or like the black and white like checked stuff. A care package, and of course Yoshi for Jack. Losu. Hats are cool. Shame they're itchy on my head. I'd look so cool with a good hat. Oh, I'm finally getting a winter Ushanka hat off Lion. That's being delivered at some point, and I was like, yes, now my flimsy little black beanie, can be not used when that comes, because oh my god, that stuff was awful. Like, especially with it being cold. Ushanka's the best cold hat. I've always wanted one ever since I saw South Park because I like Kyle's hat. Serotonin refilled. I'm happy my Yoshi noise brings you some form of serotonin, darling. I'm happy. But yes. You need to be listening to all those bands, Chozo. We'll just like fill his DMs with music later. It's like, listen to this one. I wish I lived in Madrid and have the cold for Ushanka. Yes. It doesn't get too cold in Spain. Not like over here cold. No, Spain doesn't get cold like nearly enough. Oh my god, hello Aegis, how are you? Soup. What flavor soup? How are you doing, Aegis? I hope you're doing well. You ready for Christmas? Soup flavor. That's the best flavor, Aegis. I like me some soup. Soup is good for the soul. I mean, I could wear it. It's currently minus 12 degrees C outside. Yes, it is cold. Christmas is pain while it is empty. Oh my god, did you go gift shopping? Oh no. Your mom. God damn it, hubby. Oh. I saw Aegis react to a tweet saying your mom followed me. I found that funny. I've been getting gifts, yeah. It's always the same. It always costs money at Christmas time. Christmases, birthdays, bills. I'm like well below zero. Yeah, I think it's gone pretty warm on my end now. I think. What is it on my... It's 9 degrees Celsius right now for me, considering it was like in the minuses. Taxes. Oh yes, you guys have to do your own taxes, don't you? Ours comes out like automatically. Gets to below zero in the mainland easily, but the Canaries are subtropical, so the least we get is like 10 degrees C, and that is like 5 in the morning on a cold day. 10's about average here. Back to work. Enjoy work, Aegis. Don't strain yourself. Thank you for stopping by, honey. Oh. Alright. So, back to some fairies and some coinage. The fairies and their chest of gold. The following tale I obtained from the Reverend Owen Jones, Vicar of Pentravolus. My tea has gone cold, oh god. The scene lies among the wildest mountains of Merionethshire. I hate that one, that's so badly written. Merionethshire. It's such a mouthful. David the Weaver lived in a house called Newrig, near Cynogau Mawr, between Pentravolus and Cerrig y Drydion. One day, David was going over the hill to Bala. On the top of the Garn, 2 fairies met him and desired him to follow them, promising, if he would do so, that they would show him a chest filled with gold, and furthermore, they told him that the gold should be his. David was in want of money, and he was therefore quite willing to follow these good-natured fairies. He walked many miles with them across the bleak, bare mountain, and at last, descending from the summit, they reached a deep, secluded glen, lying at the foot of the mountain. And there the fairies exposed to his view a chest, which had never before been seen by mortal eye, and they informed him that it was his. David was delighted when he heard the good news, and mentally bade farewell to weaving. He knew, though, from tradition, that he must in some way or another, there and then, take possession of his treasure, or it would disappear. He could not carry the chest away, as it was too heavy. But to show his ownership thereto, he thrust his walking stick into the middle of the gold, and there it stood erect. A good pronoun. What pronoun would you like, Circus dear? What's your preferred pronoun, Circus? Boy is on mist. Don't mind. Circus, you are a very good boy. There you go. I'm getting used to that. Then he started homewards, and often and again, as he left the glen, he turned round to see whether the fairies had taken his stick away, and with it the chest. But no, there it remained. At last, the ridge hid all from view, and instead of going on to Bala, he hastened home to tell his good wife of his riches. Quickly did he travel to his cottage, and when there, it was not long before his wife knew all about the chest of gold, and where it was, and how that David had taken possession of his riches by thrusting his walking stick into the middle of the gold. It was too late for them to set out to carry the chest home, for they arranged to start before the sun was up the next day. David, well acquainted with fairy doings, cautioned his wife not to tell anyone of their good fortune. For if you do, said he, we shall vex the fairies, and the chest, after all, will not be ours. She promised to obey, but alas, what woman possesses a silent tongue? No sooner had the husband revealed the secret to his wife than she was impatient to step to her next-door neighbour's house, just to let him know what a great woman she had all at once become. Now, this neighbour was a shrewd miller called Samuel, David went out to attend to some little business, leaving his wife alone, and she, spying her opportunity, rushed to the miller's house and told him of his wife's every wit, and how that she and David had arranged to go for the chest next morning before the sun was up. Then she hurried home, but never told David where she had been, nor what she had done. The good couple sat up late at night, talking over their good fortune and planning their future. It was consequently far after sunrise when they got up next day, and when they reached the secluded valley where the chest had been, it had disappeared, and with it David's stick. They returned home sad and weary, but this time there was no visit made to the miller's house. Ere long it was quite clearly seen that Samuel the miller had come into a fortune, and David's wife knew that she had done all the mischief by foolishly boasting of the fairy gift, designed for her husband, to her early rising and crafty neighbour, who had forestalled David and his wife, and had himself taken possession of the precious chest. What a bitch! Oh, did you like it, Circus? Oh, you seem a bit scared, and then you died. Oh no! I hope it wasn't bad. The fairy shilling. It's reward. You're good. Okay. I was worried. I was worried. So the fairy shilling. The Reverend Owen Jones, Pentravoilus, whom I've already mentioned as having supplied me with the folklore of his parish, kindly gave me the following tale. It shook me a little. Oh, I hope in a good way. There was a clean, tidy, hard-working woman who was most particular about keeping her house in order. She had a place for everything and kept everything in its place. Every night before retiring to rest, she was in the habit of brushing up the ashes around the fireplace and putting a few fresh peat on the fire to keep it all night. And she was careful to sweep the floor before going to bed. It was a sight worth seeing to see her clean cottage. One night, the fairies, in their rambles, came that way and entered her house. It was just such a place as they liked. They were delighted with the warm fire, the clean floor and hearth, and they stayed there all night and enjoyed themselves greatly. In the morning on leaving, they left a bright new shilling on the hearthstone for the woman. Night after night they spent in this woman's cottage, and every morning she picked up a new shilling. This went on for so long a time that the woman's worldly conditions was much improved. This her neighbours with envy and surprise perceived, and great was their talk about her. At last it was noticed that she always paid for the things she brought with new shilling pieces, and the neighbours could not make out where she got all those bright shillings from. They were determined, if possible, to ascertain, and one of their numbers was disputed to take upon her the work of obtaining from the woman the history of these new shillings. She found no difficulty whatever in doing so, for the woman, in her simplicity, informed her group that every morning the coin was found on the hearthstone. Next morning the woman, as usual, expected to find a shilling, but never afterwards did she discover one, and the fairies came no more to her house, for they were offended with her for divulging the secret. This tale is exactly like many others that may be heard related by old people in many a secluded abode to their grandchildren. A lesson constantly inculcated by fairy tales is this: embrace opportunities as they occur, or they will be lost forever. The following stories have reference to this belief. What a bitch, Nozomi said. Yes, indeed. I will be doing a 10-15 minute break because dragon bathroom break and all that. So make sure you guys get yourself something to drink, something to eat, stretch your limbs, please. Walk around for a bit and do what you need to do as well. But you guys need to have a quick break too. But I will be back in about 10-15 minutes, darlings, okay? I'll see you soon. All better. How's everybody? Eat it around like Sonic. Didn't want to leave you guys too long. Thank you for being patient. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hope you had a good break as well. Oh, thank you, hubby. Did you get yourself something to eat and drink? I hope you did. Oh. So cute. Human flesh. I mean, you know, needs must. Needs must. I got snacks. Ooh, what snacks did you get, Circus? I love snacks. I do like snacks. I got gifted macarons as well yesterday and I'm so happy. I love macarons. Very nice. You don't get them very much here though. Who need a snack when Nozomi is here? I mean Ayo. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. You are a little gremlin. Oh. I'm not much of a snack. He's like, nope. Eesh. You're so funny, hubby. You're the perfect little gremlin. Gremlin Shiba Inu. It's okay, hubby. You're a good bean. You're the best bean. Yes. Alright. Where did we leave off? The hidden golden chair. That sounds like a nice chair. Might be cold, but nice. Don't want to sit on a cold chair. Because that's not fun. I'm an evil Shiba. I'm horny for mischief. Oh. When are you not? When are you not, bro? Oh my goodness. You're always you know, horny for mischief, sir. Oh, I love it. I'm saving those for later, by the way. I gotta get my daily hubby quote in. It do be like that. Mm-hmm. It do indeed. Did I make myself a fresh hot cup of tea? No, I did not. I refuse to waste a good cup of tea. I was like, maybe cold, but I'll drink it. No, please, I beg. Oh, but it's more fun. Begging don't work with me. It's funny. I'm just evil. Have mercy on this poor sad Shiba soul. Nah. I mean, you do this to yourself, hubby. Oh, you're absolutely so cute. Oh my goodness. I love it. Awesome. So you guys have me for a little bit longer today. Yes, Mr. Lion, I know you're listening. I will go to bed at a reasonable time. He's always listening. He's in the walls. always listening. So the hidden golden chair, guys. It is a good many years since Mrs. Mary Jones, Corn Lanai, Llandin Orwig, Carnarvonshire, told me of the following tale. The scene of the story is the unenclosed mountain between Corn Lanai, a small farm, and the hamlet Rhywlas. There is still current in those parts of tale of a hidden golden chair, and Mrs. Jones said that it had once been seen by a young girl who might have taken possession of it, but unfortunately she did not do so, and from that day to this it has not been discovered. The tale is this. There was once a beautiful girl, the daughter of poor hard-working parents, who held a farm on the side of the hill, and their handsome industrious daughter took care of the sheep. At certain times of the year she visited the sheep walk daily, but she never went to the mountain without her knitting needles, and when looking after the sheep she was always knitting stockings, and she was so clever with her needles that she could knit as she walked along. The fairies who lived in those mountains noticed the young woman's good qualities. One day, when she was far from home, watching her father's sheep, she saw before her a most beautiful golden chair. She went up to it and found that it was so massive that she could not move it. She knew the fairy lore of her neighbourhood, and she understood that the fairies had, by revealing the chair, intended it for her. But there she was on the wild mountain, far away from home, without anyone near to assist her in carrying it away, and often had she heard that such treasures were to be taken possession of at once, or they would disappear forever. She did not know what to do, but all at once she thought, if she could, by attaching the yarn in her hand to the chair, connect it thus with her home, the chair would be hers forever. Acting upon this suggestion, she forthwith tied the yarn to the front of the chair and commenced unrolling the ball, watching the while homewards. But long before she could reach the home, the yarn in the ball was exhausted. She, however, tied it to the yarn in the stocking with which she had been knitting, and again started towards her home, hoping to reach it before the yarn in the stocking would be finished. But she was doomed to disappointment, for that gave out before she could arrive at her father's house. She had nothing else with her to attach to the yarn. She, however, could now see her home, and she began to shout, hoping to gain the ear of her parents, but no one appeared. In her distress, she fastened the end of the yarn to a large stone, and ran home as fast as she could. She told her parents what she had done, and all three proceeded immediately towards the stone to which the yarn had been tied, but they failed to discover it. The yarn, too, had disappeared. They continued a futile search for the golden chair until driven away by the approaching night. The next day they renewed their search, but all in vain, for the girl was unable to find the spot where she had first seen the golden chair. It was believed by everybody that the fairies had not only removed the golden chair, but also the yarn and stone in which the yarn had been attached. But people thought that if the yarn had been long enough to reach from the chair to the girl's home, then the golden chair would have been hers forever. Such is the tale. People believe the golden chair is still hidden away in the mountain, that some day or other it will be given to those for whom it is intended. But it is, they say, no use anyone looking for it, as it is not to be got by searching, but it will be revealed, as if by accident, to those fated to possess it. Oh damn. They give you good stuff, but there's always a catch. fairy treasures seen by a man near Ogwen Lake. Another tale similar to the preceding one is told by my friend Mr. Hugh Derville Hughes in his Hunafiaddau Llandygau a Llan Llecyd, pages 35 and 36. The following is a translation of Mr. Hughes's story. It is said that a servant man penetrated into the recesses of the mountains in the neighbourhood of Ogwen Lake, and that he there discovered a cave within which there was a large quantity of brazen vessels in every shape and description. In the joy of his heart at his good fortune, he seized one of the vessels with the intention of carrying it away with him, as an earnest that the rest likewise were his. But alas, it was too heavy for any man to move. Therefore, with the intention of returning the following morning to the cave with a friend to assist him in carrying the vessels away, he closed its mouth with stones, and thus he securely hid from view the entrance to the cave. When he had done this, it flashed upon his mind that he had heard of people who had accidentally come across caves just as he had, but that they, poor things, had afterwards lost all traces of them, and lest a similar misfortune should befall him, he determined to place a mark at the mouth of the cave, which would enable him to come upon it again, and also he bethought himself that it would be necessary for further security to indicate by some marks the way from his house to the cave. He had, however, nothing at hand to enable him to carry out this latter design, but his walking stick. This he began to chip with his knife, and he placed the chips at certain distances all along the way homewards. In this way he cut up his staff, and he was satisfied with what he had done, for he hoped to find the cave by means of the chips. Early the next morning he had a friend started for the mountain, the fond hope of securing the treasures, but when they arrived at the spot where the chip-marked pathway ought to begin, they failed to discover a single chip, because, as it was reported, they had been gathered up by fairies, and thus this vision was in vain. The author adds to the tale these words: "But reader, things are not always to be so. There is a tradition in the Nant that the Gwyddel is to have these treasures, and this is how it will come to pass. A Gwyddel shepherd will come to live in the neighbourhood, and on one of his journeys to the mountain to shepherd his sheep, when fate shall see fit to bring it about, there will run before him into the cave a black sheep with a speckled head, and the Gwyddel shepherd will follow into the cave to catch it. And on entering, to his great astonishment, he will discover the treasures and take possession of them. And in this way it will come to pass, at some future age, that the property of Gwyddelod will return to him." Prophesied. The magical sheep will guide him, as always. This one's called "The Fairies Giving Money to a Man for Joining Them in Their Dance." The following story came to me through the Reverend Owen Jones, Vicar of Pentravolos. The occurrence is said to have taken place near Pentravolos. The following are the particulars. Thomas Morris, Tunapan, returning home one delightful summer night from Llanrwst Fair, came suddenly upon a company of fairies dancing in a ring. In the centre of the circle were a number of speckled dogs, small in size, and they too were dancing with all their might. After the dance came to an end, the fairies persuaded Thomas to accompany them to Hafod Bryn Mull, and there the dance was resumed, and did not terminate until the break of day. Ere the fairies departed, they requested their visitor to join them the following night at the same place, and they promised, if he would do so, to enrich him with gifts of money. But they made him promise that he would not reveal to any one the place where they held their revels. This Thomas did, and night after night was spent pleasantly by him in the company of his merry newly made friends. True to their word, he nightly parted company with them, laden with money, and spent pleasantly by him. And thus he had no need to spend his days as heretofore in manual labour. This went on as long as Thomas Morris kept his word, but alas, one day he divulged to a neighbour the secret of his riches. That night, as usual, he went to have Bryn Mawr, but his generous friends were not there, and he noticed that in the place where they were wont to dance, there was nothing but cockle shells. In certain parts of Wales, it is believed that fairy money, on close inspection, would be found to be cockle shells. Mr. Hugh Jones, Colonel, who has already been mentioned, told the writer that a man found a crock filled, as he thought when he first saw it, with gold, but on taking it home he discovered that he had carried home from the mountain nothing but cockle shells. This, Mrs. Jones told me, was fairy money. Well, I mean, shells are pretty. Shell currency sounds nice. Recycle shells, Because shells are just departed sea creatures from the ocean. We essentially, when we go shell collecting, we are picking up, the remains of dead sea critters. Well, I suppose, it's a fitting currency. Reuse the things. The fairies rewarding a woman for taking care of their dog. Mention has already been made of fairy dogs. It would appear that now and again these dogs, just like any other dog. Oh, thank you for the follow, Sandra. Oh God, my pronunciation today is coming out the window. Sandra, how you doing? Thank you so much for the follow. You've made it to Santa's nice list. I really appreciate it. I'm Nozami, your Welsh Pandragon, and welcome to Raven's Hollow, where we're going over some Welsh folklore and fairy tales and fair folk. A lot of fun. I hope you're doing well, sweetie. I hope you get comfy and enjoy the stream. Just drawing. Ooh, what are you drawing? I love meeting artists. You guys are all so talented. I hope the drawing's going well, but make sure you're taking plenty of breaks and rests as well. You don't want a bad arm cramp or anything. They rewarded the mortals who'd shown kindness to the animals. For the following tale, I'm indebted to the Reverend Owen Jones. Owen Jones is a man of many tales, I swear to God. One day when going home from Pentravolis Church, the wife of Hafod y Garreg found on the ground in an exhausted state a fairy dog. She took it up tenderly and carried it home in her apron. I just finished up this baby snake not too long ago. Oh, I love snakes. Snakes are my second favourite animal. Oh, so cute. She showed this kindness to the poor little thing from fear, for she remembered what had happened to the wife of Bryn Halin, who had found one of the fairy dogs but had behaved cruelly towards it, and consequently had fallen down dead. The wife of Hafod y Garreg therefore made a nice soft bed for the fairy dog in the pantry, and placed over it a brass pot. In the night succeeding the day, that she had found the dog, a company of fairies came to Havre to make inquiries about it. The woman told them that it was as safe and sound, and they were welcome in to take it away with them. She willingly gave it up to its masters. Her conduct pleased the fairies greatly, and so before departing with the dog, they asked her which she would prefer, clean or a dirty cow. Her answer was a dirty one, and so it came to pass that from that time forward to the end of her life, her cows gave more milk than the very best cows in the very best farms in her neighbourhood. In this way was she rewarded for her kindness to the dog by the fairies. Oh, that's very nice. What type of snake did you draw, Sundre? Sundere. I will pronounce that right one day. I could call you Sun, but you know, I'm learning. This one is about men captured by fairies. Because as we said yesterday, you don't fuck with the fae, you fuck the fae. Of course. And always be secretly grateful to the fairies. As you do. I'm a potato again. Go. So, men captured by the fairies. The petit. So in the preceding legends, we have accounts of men capturing female fairies and marrying them. It would be strange if the kidnapping were confined to one of the two races, but folklore tells us that the fair family were not innocent of actions similar to those of mortals, for many a man was snatched away by them and carried off to their subterranean abodes, who, in course of time, married the fair daughters of the Tylwyth Teg. Men captured fairy ladies, but the fairies captured handsome men. The oldest written legend of this class is to be found in the pages of Giraldus Cambrensis, pages 390 to 392, Bond's edition. The Archdeacon made the tour of Wales in 1188. The legend, therefore, which he records can boast of a good old age, but the tale itself is older than the itinerary through Wales, for the writer informs us that the priest Elidorus, who affirmed that he had been in the country of the fairies, talked in his old age to David II, Bishop of St. David, of the event. Now David II was promoted to the see of St. David in 1147, or according to others in 1149, and died AD 1176. Therefore the legend had its origin before the last mentioned date, and if the priest were a very old man when he died, his tale would belong to the 11th century. With these prefatory remarks, I will give the legend as recorded by Giraldus. Number 1. Elidorus and the Fairies. A short time before our days, a circumstance worthy of note occurred in these parts, which Elidorus, a priest, most strenuously affirmed had fallen to himself. When a youth of 12 years, and learning his letters, since, as Solomon says, the root of learning is bitter, although the fruit is sweet. In order to avoid the discipline and frequent stripes inflicted on him by his preceptor, he ran away and concealed himself under the hollow bank of the river. After fasting in that situation for 2 days, 2 little men of pygmy stature appeared to him, saying, "If you will come with us, we will lead you into a country full of delights and sports." Assenting and rising up, he followed his guides through the path, at first subterraneous and dark, into a most beautiful country adorned with rivers and meadows, woods and plains, but obscure, and not illuminated with the full light of the sun. All the days were cloudy, and the nights extremely dark, on account of the absence of the moon and stars. The boy was brought before the king and introduced to him in the presence of the court, who, having examined him for a long time, delivered him to his son, who was then a boy. These men were of the smallest stature, but very well proportioned in their make. They were all of a fair complexion, with luxuriant hair falling over their shoulders like that of a woman. They had horses and greyhounds adapted to their size. They neither ate flesh nor fish, but lived on milk diet made up into messes with saffron. They never took an oath, for they detested nothing so much as lies. As often as they returned from our upper hemisphere, they reprobated our ambition, infidelities, and inconstancies. They had no form of public worship, being strict lovers and reverers, as it seemed, of truth. The boy frequently returned to our hemisphere, sometimes by the way he had first gone, sometimes by another, at first in company with other persons, and afterwards alone, and made himself known only to his mother, declaring to her the manners, nature, and state of that people. Being desired by her to bring a present of gold, with which that region abounded, he stole, while at play with the king's son, a golden ball with which he used to divert himself, and brought it to his mother in great haste. And when he reached the door of his father's house, but not unpursued, and was entering in a great hurry, his foot stumbled on the threshold, and falling down into the room where his mother was sitting, the two pygmies seized the ball which had dropped from his hand, departed, showing the boy every mark of contempt and derision. On recovering from the fall, confounded with shame, and execrating the evil counsel of his mother, he returned by the usual track to the subterraneous road, but found no appearance of any passage, though he searched for it on the banks of the river for nearly the space of a year. But since those calamities are often alleviated by time, which reason cannot mitigate, the length of time alone blunts the edge of our afflictions, and puts an end to many evils. The youth, having been brought back by his friends and mother, and restored to his right way of thinking, and to his learning in process, to a time attained the rank of priesthood. Whenever David II, Bishop of St. David's, talked to him in his advanced state of life concerned the event, he could never relate the particulars without shedding tears. He had made himself acquainted with the language of that nation, the words of which, in his younger days, he used to recite, which, as the bishop often had informed me, were very comfortable, the Greek idiom. When they asked for water, they said "ador adorum," which meant "bring water." For "idor" in their language, as well as in the Greek, signifies water, whence vessels for water are called adrai, and dur, also in the British language, signifies water. When they wanted salt, they said "halgien idorum," bring salt. Salt is called al in Greek and halan in British. For that language, from the length of time which the Britons, then called Trojans and afterwards Britons, from Brito, their leader, remained in Greece after the destruction of Troy, became in many instances similar to the Greek. This legend agrees with a remarkable degree with the popular opinion respecting fairies. It would almost appear to be the foundation of many subsequent tales that are current in Wales. The priest's testimony to fairy temperance and love of truth, and their reprobation of ambition, infidelities, and inconsistencies, notwithstanding that they had no form of public worship, and that their abhorrence of theft, intimate for they possess virtues worthy of all praise. Their abode is altogether mysterious, but this ancient description of fairyland bears out the remarks, perhaps suggested the remarks of the Reverend Peter Roberts in his book called The Cambrian Popular Antiquities. In this work, the author promulgates the theory that the fairies were a people existing distinct from the known inhabitants of the country and confederated together, and met mysteriously to avoid coming in contact with a stronger race that had taken possession of their land. And he supposes that in these traditionary tales of the fairies, we recognise something of the real history of an ancient people whose customs were those of a regular and consistent policy. Roberts supposed that the smaller race, of the purpose of replenishing their ranks, stole the children of their conquerors, or slyly exchanged their weak children for their enemy's strong children. It will be observed that the people among whom Elidorus sojourned had a language cognate with the Irish, Welsh, Greek, and other tongue. In fact, it was similar to that language, but at one time extended, with dialectical differences, from Ireland to India, and the Tylwyth Teg, in our legend, are described as speaking a language understood by those with whom they conversed. This language they either acquired from their conquerors, or both races must have had a common origin, the latter probably being the more reasonable superstition. And by interference, therefore, the fairies and other nations by whom they were subdued were descended from a common stock, and ages afterwards by marriage. The fairies again commingled with other branches of the family from which they had originally sprung. Omitting many embellishments which the imagination has no difficulty in bestowing, tradition had transmitted one fact, that the Tylwyth Teg succeeded in inducing men through the allurements of music and the attraction of their fair daughters to join their ranks. I will now give instances of belief. The following tale I received from the mouth of Mr. Richard Jones, son of Wern, Breneglws, near Corwin. Mr. Jones had stored up in his memory many tales of olden times, and he even thinks that he has himself seen a fairy. Standing by his farm, he pointed out to me on the opposite side of the valley a fairy ring still green, where once, he said, the fairies held their nightly revels. The scene of the tale which Mr. Jones related is wild, and a few years ago it was much more so than at present. At the time that the event is said to have taken place, the mountain was unenclosed, and there was not much travelling in those days. Consequently, the fairies could, undisturbed, enjoy their dances. But to proceed with the tale. A Breneglws man inveigled by the fairies. 2 waggoners sent from Breneglws for coals to the work over the hill beyond Monera. On their way they came upon a company of fairies dancing with all their might. The men stopped to witness their movements, and the fairies invited them to join the dance. One of the men stoutly refused to do so, but the other was induced to dance a while with them. His companion looked on for a short time at the antics of his friend, and then shouted out that he would wait no longer, and desired the man to give up and come away. He, however, turned a deaf ear to the request, and no words could induce him to forego his dance. At last his companion said that he was going, and requested his friend to follow him. Taking the 2 waggons under his care, he proceeded toward the coal pits, expecting every moment to be overtaken by his friend. But he was disappointed, for he never appeared. The waggons and their loads were taken to Breneglws, and the man thought that perhaps his companion, having stopped too long in the dance, had turned homeward instead of following him to the coal pit. But on inquiry no one had heard or seen the missing waggoner. One day his companion met a fairy on the mountain and inquired after his missing friend. The fairy told him to go to a certain place which he named at a certain time, and that he should see his friend there. The man went, and there saw his companion just as he had left him, and the first words that he uttered were, "Have the waggoners gone far?" The poor man never dreamt that months and months had passed away. They had started together for coal. A variant of the preceding story appears in the Cambrian Magazine, Volume 2, pages 58 to 59, where it is styled The Year's Sleep, or The Forest of the Yew Tree, but for the sake of association with like tales, I will call it by the following tale. Story of a man who spent 12 months in fairyland. In Mathawan, in the parish of Llanryn, and the canton of Dyfeilioch, there is a wood which is called Rhydd o Ywyn, the forest of the yew. It is supposed to be so called because there is a yew tree growing in the very middle of it. In many parts of the wood are to be seen green circles, which are called the dancing places of the goblins, about which, a considerable time ago, the following tale was very common in the neighbourhood. 2 servants of John Pugh, Esquire, went out one day to work in the forest of the yew. Pretty early in the afternoon, the whole country was so covered with dark vapour that the youths thought night was coming on. But when they came to the middle of the forest, it brightened up around them, and the darkness seemed all left behind. So thinking it too early to return home for the night, they lay down and slept. One of them, on waking, was much surprised to find no one there but himself. He wondered a good deal at the behaviour of his companion, but made up his mind at last that he had gone on some business of his own, as he had been talking of it some time before. So the sleeper went home, and when they inquired after his companion, he told them he was gone to the cobbler's shop. The next day they inquired of him again about his fellow servant, but he could not give them any account of him, but at last confessed how and where they had both gone to sleep. After searching and searching many days, he went to Gyfarwydd, a conjurer, which was very common trade in those days according to the legend, and the conjurer said to him, "Go to the same place where you and the lad slept. Go there exactly a year after the boy was lost. Let it be on the same day of the year and at the same time of the day, but take care that you do not step inside the fairy ring. Stand on the border of the green circle you saw there, and the boy will come out with many of the goblins to dance. And when you see him so near to you that you may take hold of him, snatch him out of the ring as quickly as you can." He did according to the advice and plucked the boy out, and then asked him if he did not feel hungry, to which he answered no, for he had still the remains of his dinner that he had left in his wallet before going to sleep, and he asked if it was not nearly night and time to go home. Not knowing that a year had passed, he looked was like a skeleton, and as soon as he had tasted food, he was a dead man. A story in its main features similar to that recorded in the Cambrian Magazine, related to me by my friend the Reverend R. Jones, rector of Llanyssil. I do not think Mr. Jones gave me the locality where the occurrence is said to have taken place, at least. If he did so, I took no note of it. The story is as follows. A man who spent 12 months and a day with fairies. A young man, a farm labourer, and his sweetheart were sauntering along one evening in an unfrequented part of the mountain, when there appeared suddenly before them 2 fairies, who proceeded to make a circle. This being done, a large company of fairies accompanied by musicians appeared, and commenced dancing over the ring. Their motions and music were entrancing, and the man, an expert dancer, by some irresistible power, was obliged to throw himself into the midst of the dancers and join them in their gambols. The woman looked on, enjoying the sight for several hours, expecting every minute that her lover would give up the dance and join her. But no, on and on went the dance, round and round went her lover, until the last daylight appeared, and then suddenly the music ceased and the fairy band vanished, and with them her lover. In great dismay the young woman shouted the name of her sweetheart, but all in vain. He came not to her. The sun had now risen, and almost broken-hearted she returned home and related the events of the previous night. She was advised to consult a man who was an adept in the black art. She did so, and the conjurer told her to go to the same place at the same time of night, 1 year and 1 day from the time that her lover had disappeared, and that she should then and there see him. He was further instructed how to act. The conjurer warned her from going into the ring, but told her to seize her lover by the arm as he danced around, and to jerk him out of the enchanted circle. 12 months and a day passed, and the faithful girl was on the spot where she lost her lover. At the very moment that they had in the first instance appeared, the fairies again came to view, and everything that she had witnessed previously was repeated. With the fairy band was her lover dancing merrily in the midst. The young woman ran around and round the circle, close to the young man, carefully avoiding the circle, and at last she succeeded in taking hold of him and desired him to come away with her. "Oh," said he, "do let me alone a little longer, and then I will come with you." "You have already been long enough," said she. The answer was, "It is so delightful, let me dance on only a few minutes longer." She saw that he was under a spell, and grasping the young man's arm with all her might, she followed him around and round the circle, and an opportunity offering, she jerked him out of the circle. He was greatly annoyed at her conduct, and when told that he had been with the fairies 1 year and a day, he would not believe her, and affirmed that he had been dancing only a few minutes. However, he went away with the faithful girl. When he had reached the farm, his friends had the greatest difficulty in persuading him that he had been so long from home. The next fairy tale that I shall give, akin to the preceding story, is to be found in Brython, Volume 3, pages 459 to 460. The writer of the tale was the Reverend Benjamin Williams, whose bardic name was Gwyneniodd. I do not know the source whence Mr. Williams derived the story, but most likely he obtained it from some aged person who firmly believed that the tale was a true record of what actually occurred. In the Brython, the tale is called A Tylwyth Teg and Mab Llec y Derwydd, and this title I will retain, merely translating it. The introduction, however, I will not give, as it does not directly bear on the subject now under construction. Sip a mad drink. Zoning in, bro. The son of Llec y Derwydd and the fairies. The son of Llec and Derwydd was the only son of his parents and heir to the farm. He was very dear to his father and mother, yet he was as the very light of their eyes. The son and the head servant man were bosom friends. They were like two brothers, or rather twins. As they were such close friends, the farmer's wife was in the habit of clothing them exactly alike. The two friends fell in love with two young handsome women, who were highly respected in the neighbourhood. This event gave the old people great satisfaction, and ere long the two couples were joined in holy wedlock, and great was the merry making on the occasion. The servant man obtained a convenient place to live in on the grounds of Llec y Derwydd. About 6 months after the marriage of the son, he and the servant man went out to hunt, The servant penetrated to a ravine filled with brushwood to look for game, and presently returned to his friend. By the time he came back, the sun was nowhere to be seen. He continued a while looking about for his absent friend, shouting and whistling to attract his attention, but there was no answer to his calls. By and by he went home to Llec y Derwydd, expecting to find him there, but no one knew anything about him. Great was the grief of the family throughout the night, but it was even greater the next day. They went to inspect the place where the son had last been seen. His mother and his wife wept bitterly, but the father had greater control over himself. Still, he appeared as half mad. They inspected the place where the servant man had last seen his friend. To their great surprise and sorrow, observed a fairy ring close to the spot, and the servant recollected that he had heard seductive music somewhere from the time that he parted with his friend. They came to the conclusion at once that the man had been so unfortunate to enter the fairy ring, and they conjectured that he had been transported no one knows where. Weary weeks and months passed by, and a son was born to the absent man. The little one grew up the very image of his father, and very precious was he to his grandfather and grandmother. In fact, he was everything to them. He grew up to man's estate and married a pretty girl in the neighbourhood, but her people had not the reputation of being kind-hearted. The old folks died, and also their daughter-in-law. One windy afternoon in the month of October, the family of Llec y Derwydd saw a tall, thin old man with beard and hair as white as snow, who they thought was a Jew, approaching slowly, very slowly towards the house. The servant girls stared mockingly through the window at him, and their mistress laughed unfeeling at the old Jew, and lifted the children up one after the other to get sight of him as he neared the house. Can I talk now, Twitch? Hello, Dark Reloads! Welcome! You got it sorted! How are you doing, sweetie? Welcome to the Hollow. I'm Nozami, your Welsh Pandragon. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Was work okay? Tired from work. Oh. Make sure you get some nice food in your tummy and get lots of rest. You've been working very hard today. I'm reading a few tales. Oh my goodness. I had sushi. Oh, sushi sounds so nice. What did I have today? I made fish finger sandwiches. I had a light dinner today. A light evening meal. And then I had some chocolate before a stream. But I don't get to eat now till morning anyway. Because time zones. It's yummy too. It's a very good go-to meal, and we had a couple of cocktail sausages and stuff as well, which was nice. I'm so happy I can speak now. Yes, I'm finally glad you got it sorted. Did you ever figure out what the problem was? Was it the browser or anything, or how did you fix it? I did it on my phone. Oh, that'd be good. Maybe you can teach Pope how to do it this time. We're reading a couple of tales at the minute. I'm determined to make it to at least the 3-hour stream mark. Yes, you do make sure I stay fed, Lion, with all my snacks. My Butterfinger popcorn finally came today. So I'm happy with that. We don't have Butterfingers here, so I'm excited. I just want you to know that I was in your streams 7 different times, not being able to talk. Oh, that sucks. I really appreciate you coming to my streams, but I'm so glad you get to chat with us in the chat now. How you doing, Circus? You doing okay? You're okay, honey. Oh, Circus. Dark's probably gonna join us on Christmas as well. I'm making friends. I'm gonna have a very nice Christmas with you guys. Yes, Dark's gonna be joining us on Christmas as well. I'm gonna get hammered. Yeah. I'll have to put my 18 plus warning on there. You know, we'll all have a nice merry time together. Oh, I love this music playlist. But yeah, so we'll have lots of fun things to do. I'll be talking to you guys about how Christmas and holiday season is celebrated around the world. Do I need to be in a server? No, honey. If you are friends with me on Discord, I create little private VCs with my guests and stuff. Because I like to pre-approve my guest list. So don't worry about it. You can join the server if you do want to, honey. But as long as you're friends with me on Discord, I make little Discord VCs with everybody. Little chats. So guests can, like, you know, join in and out if they need to. Yeah. Yeah, I got quite an interesting list. Intro's also joining too. Reaper's joining. Lion may be joining. He's gonna try and go to the store and buy alcohol. His first time going to the store to get it. He's a big boy now. And Circus has been keeping like stashes of like alcohol for himself. And for me, it'll be like wine and stuff, which is fun. But I've got a couple more bits to be reading before I get sleepy. I need to go on a booze run. I'm low. Well, yeah, you might need to get it done before Christmas at least, because, you know, 'tis the season to be hectic. When people leave it last minute and stuff. But yes. Definitely. As long as we drink responsibly. Do that when I'm home. Yes, you're home on Friday, aren't you? Because of work. Must be a pain to travel all the time. Stuff. I like being in my house. It's my safe space. She'll be home late Thursday. Yeah. Bet you miss your own bed though. I'd miss my own bed, honestly. I'm a simple dragon. I just like to stay in my space. Yeah. Your job must be like super hard if they're making you go everywhere. Miss my pupper. Oh yes, I totally miss my puppy too. My doggo. I would miss him. He's a derp dude, but you know, and he has knocked my tree over once already this year. Is it? What job do you do, Dark? What job do you do? Yes. Oh, a his friend request. Yay. I have accepted your friend request, Dark. There you go, honey. I symbol tractors for Kubota dealerships. Ooh. Oh, assemble. Oh my god, tractors are so big. That is it. They got big wheels. That sounds hard. That sounds like really heavy. You say it's easy, but you're there like assembling tractors. But yeah, this is easy, and I'm there with like no upper body strength. Like I couldn't do that stuff. Oh, I see my little Crumbs is here too, my mud Crumbs. How are you doing, Crumsy? Enjoy your shower, honey. If your shower takes too long, you may be in another streamer's raid, because my eyes be going sleepy. But I'm trying. I'm sticking it out to just over the 3-hour mark. So he came to the door and entered the house boldly enough and inquired after his parents. The mistress answered him in a surly and unusually contemptuous manner, and wished to know what the drunken old Jew wanted there. For they thought he must have been drinking, or he would never have spoken in the way he did. The old man looked at everything in the house with surprise and bewilderment, but the little children about the floor took his attention more than anything. His looks betrayed sorrow and deep disappointment. He related his whole history, that yesterday he had gone out to hunt, and that he had now returned. The mistress told him that she had heard a story about her husband's father, which occurred before she was born, and he had been lost while hunting, but that her father had told her that the story was not true, but that he had been killed. The woman became uneasy and angry that the old Jew did not depart. The old man was roused and said that the house was his, and that he would have his rights. He went to inspect his possessions, and shortly afterwards directed his steps to the servant's house. To his surprise, he saw the things were greatly changed. After conversing a while with the aged woman who sat by the fire, they carefully looked each other in the face, and the old man by the fire related the sad story of his lost friend, the son of Lech Derwydd. They conversed together deliberately on the events of their youth, but all seemed like a dream. However, the old man in the corner came to the conclusion that his visitor was his dear friend, the son of Lech Derwydd, returned from the land of the fairies after having spent there 100 years. The old man with the white beard believed the story related by his friend, and long was the talk, and many were the questions which the one gave to the other. The visitor was informed that the master of Lech Derwydd was from home that day, and he was persuaded to eat some food, but to the horror of all, when he had done so, he instantly fell down dead. Such is the story. The writer adds that the tale relates to the cause of this man's sudden death was that he ate food after having been so long in the land of the fairies, and he further states that the faithful old servant insisted on his dead friends being buried with his ancestors, and the rudeness of the mistress of Lech Derwydd to her father-in-law brought a curse upon the place and family, and her offence was not expiated until the farm had been sold 9 times. The next tale that I shall relate is recorded by Glasanus y Cymru v. pages 177 to 179. Professor Rhys, in his Welsh Fairy Tales, A Cymroda, Volume 5, pages 81 to 84, gives a translation of this story. The professor prefaces the tale with a caution that Glasanus has elaborated the story, that the proper names were undoubtedly his own. The The Reverend author informs his readers that he heard his mother relate the tale many times, but it certainly appears that he has ornamented the simple narrative after his own fashion. For he was professedly a believer in words, however, in its general outline. It bears the impress of antiquity and strongly resembles other Welsh fairy tales. It belongs to the species of fairy stories which compose this chapter, and therefore it is here given as translated by Professor Rees. I will, for the sake of reference, give the tale a name and describe it under the following heading. Oh, okay. My drink. A young man marries a fairy lady in fairyland and brings her to live with him among his own people. Once upon a time, a shepherd boy had gone up the mountains. That day, like many a day before and after, was exceedingly misty. Now, though he was well acquainted with the place, he lost his way, and walked backwards and forwards for many a long hour. At last he got into the low rushy spot, where he saw before him many circular rings. He at once recalled the place, and began to fear the worst. He had heard many hundreds of times of the bitter experiences in those rings, of many a shepherd who had happened to chance on the dancing place of the circles of the fairy family. He hastened away at first as ever he could, lest he should be ruined like the rest. But though he exerted himself to the point of perspiring and losing his breath, there he was, and there he continued to be a long time. At last he was met by a little fat old man with merry blue eyes, who asked him what he was doing. He answered that he was trying to find his way homeward. "Oh," said he, "come after me, and do not utter a word until I bid thee." This he did, following him on and on, till they came to an oval stone, and the little old man lifted it, and tapping the middle of it 3 times with his walking stick. There was a narrow path with stairs to be seen here and there, and a sort of whitish light, inclining to grey and blue, was to be seen radiating from the stones. "Follow me fiercely," said the fat man, "no harm will be done thee." So on the poor youth went, as reluctantly as a dog to be hanged, but presently a fine wooded, fertile country spread itself out before them, with well-arranged mansions dotting it over, whilst every kind of apparent magnificence met the eye, and seemed to smile in its landscape. Bright waters of its rivers meandered and twisted streams, and its hills were covered with the luxuriant verdure of their grassy growth, and the mountains with a glossy fleece of smooth pasture. By the time they had reached that gentleman's mansion, the young man's senses had been bewildered by the sweet cadence of the music which the birds poured forth from the groves. Then there was gold there to dazzle his eyes and silver flashing on his sight. He saw there all kinds of musical instruments and all sorts of things were playing, but he could discern no inhabitant in the whole place. And when he had sat down to eat, the dishes on the table came to their places of themselves and disappeared when he had done with them. This puzzled him beyond measure. Moreover, he'd heard people talking together around him. For the life of him, he could see no one but his old friend. At length the fat man said to him, "Thou canst talk now as much as it may please thee." But when he attempted to move his tongue, it would no more stir than it had been a lump of ice, which greatly frightened him. At this point, a fine old lady, with health and benevolence beaming in her face, came to them, and slightly smiling at the shepherd. The mother was followed by her 3 daughters, who were remarkably beautiful. They gazed with somewhat playful looks at him, and at length began to talk to him, but his tongue would not wag. Then one of the girls came to him, and playing with his yellow and curly locks, gave him a smart kiss on his ruddy lips. This loosened the string that bound his tongue, and he began to talk freely and eloquently. There he was, under the charm of that kiss, in the bliss of happiness, and there he remained a year and a day, without knowing that he had passed more than a day among them, for he had got into the country where there was no reckoning of time. But by and by he began to feel somewhat of a longing to visit his old home, and asked the stout man if he could go. Stay a little. Stay a little yet, said he, and thou shalt go for a while. That past he stayed on, but Olwen, for that was the name of the damsel that had kissed him, was very unwilling that he should depart. She looked sad every time he talked of going away, nor was he himself without feeling a sort of cold thrill passing through him at the thought of leaving her. On condition, however, of returning, he obtained leave to go, provided with plenty of gold and silver, of trinkets and gems. When he reached home, nobody knew who he was. It had been the belief that he had been killed by another shepherd, who found it necessary to betake himself hastily away far to America, lest he should be hanged without delay. For here in Aignan Lass at home, and everyone wonders especially to see, the shepherd had got to look like a wealthy man. His manners, his dress, his language, and the treasure he had with him, all conspired to give him the air of gentleman. He went back on Thursday night, the first of the moon that month, as suddenly as he had left the first time, and nobody knew whither. There was great joy in the country below when Aignan returned thither, and nobody was more rejoiced at it than Olwen, his beloved. The two were right impatient to get married, but it was necessary to do that quietly, for the family below hated nothing more than fuss and noise. So in a sort of half-secret fashion they were wedded. Aignan was very desirous to go once more among his own people, accompanied, to be sure, by his wife. After he had been long entreating the old man for leave, they set out on 2 white ponies, that were in fact more like snow than anything else in point of colour. So he arrived with his consort in his old home, and it was the opinion of all that Aignan's wives was the handsomest person that had anywhere seen. Whilst at home, a son was born to them, to whom they gave the name of Taliesin. Aignan was now in the enjoyment of the high repute, and his wife received proper respect. Their wealth was immense, and soon they acquired a large estate. But it was not long till people began to inquire after the pedigree of Aignan's wife. The country was of opinion that it was not a right thing to be without a pedigree. Aignan was questioned about it without his giving any satisfactory answer, and one came to the conclusion that she was one of the fair family. Certainly, replied Aignan, there can be no doubt that she comes from a very fair family, for she has 2 sisters who are as fair as she, and if you saw them together, you would admit the name to be a capital one. This, then, is the reason why the remarkable family in the land of charm and fantasy are called the Fair Family. Ooh, I will leave it on that tale. My eyes are drooping, guys. I'm being a sleepy dragon. I do, however, have somebody today who we are going to raid, and I'd like you to go give them a lot of love. It's Mr. Sir Viper himself, because he needs it, and it would make my day if you guys could go give him all the love. I admire him as a creator very, very much. But I would like to thank every person here who's come to join me and give me lots of love and compliments. I do appreciate you guys. But I am in need of sleep. Definitely in need of sleep, honestly. But thank you guys for coming. I want more. I need sleep. I know. I need sleeps. Because I'm always up early. But tomorrow is my day off as well from streaming, so I will have some nice rest. And then Wednesday we'll have more fun times with me, which will be really fun. But I want you to go and give Mr. Viper Sir lots of love from Raven's Hollow. From me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. But I'll see you guys again. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye, guys. Please go and raid out with me to Viper. Thank you. Love you guys. Take care.